Some houses carry sorrow, some carry secrets, and a rare few are soaked in something far darker, evil itself. Tonight on Dark Whispers, we open the blood-stained door to the infamous Amityville Horror, a haunting so disturbing it shook the legendary demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren to their core. This is not just a ghost story. This is a descent into true terror. Welcome to Dark Whispers, where fear finds its voice. If you love to listen to paranormal investigations, creepypastas, and unsolved mysteries, do surely subscribe and hit the bell icon for more notifications. And if you love to listen to any particular story, do hit us back in the comments. And without any further ado, let's get back to our story. November 13th, 1974, 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, New York. A quiet suburban street, a beautiful Dutch colonial home. 6 members of the DeFeo family lay in their beds, unaware of what was coming. At precisely 3:15 a.m., their eldest son, Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr., walked through the house with a .35 caliber rifle. One by one, he executed his parents and 4 siblings, coldly and methodically, each shot echoing through the halls like a death knell. No screams, no struggle, just 6 bodies face down in their beds. Later, Butch claimed, "Voices in the house made me do it." But no one knew what he really meant until a year later. In December 1975, the house was purchased by George and Kathy Lutz. A dream home, they said. $80,000 for a waterfront property. A fresh start for them and their 3 children. They were told of the murders, and yet they still moved in. They believed their love could cleanse the past. They lasted 28 days. The first night was quiet. The second, strange noises. By the end of the first week, they were living in a walking nightmare. George began waking up at 3:15 a.m. every night, which was the same hour Butch committed the murders. Cold spots formed in the home, even with the fireplace roaring. Swarming flies appeared in winter. Doors slammed shut violently on their own. Kathy experienced invisible touches, and their daughter, Missy, began speaking to something called Jody, a red-eyed, pig-like entity that appeared in her window. The walls bled, crosses flipped upside down, and then came the shadows. Word spread fast. A haunting this intense couldn't stay hidden for long. When the Lutz family fled in terror, leaving everything behind, paranormal investigators swarmed. Among them, 2 names stood above the rest: Ed and Lorraine Warren, a demonologist and a clairvoyant, renowned across the country for battling true evil. They had faced darkness before, but nothing prepared them from Amityville. In February 1976, Ed and Lorraine Warren entered the house with a team of researchers, psychics, and journalists. Before stepping in, Lorraine paused. Her face went pale. "There is a presence here, a powerful and a malevolent one," she said. The moment they stepped into the house, Ed felt the pressure of a heavy force, like a weight on his chest. Lorraine, attuned to the other side of the world, was nearly overwhelmed by visions. In the sewing room, she saw a vortex of energy. In the basement, she felt something inhuman watching them. But the most haunting moment came when they reached the 2nd floor. Lorraine said she felt surrounded by despair. She clutched her rosary and whispered, "This house is infected with a presence so strong it could destroy a family." They conducted a seance. What they encountered was no mere spirit. A non-human entity had claimed the house as its domain. A demonic force that had influenced Butch DeFeo tormented the Lutz family and now stared back at them. During the seance, Lorraine wept uncontrollably. "There's something wrong here. Deeply wrong. This is not a ghost, this is pure evil." Among the many investigators was Gene Campbell, a professional photographer. He left a camera on the second floor, set to auto capture using infrared. Hours later, when they reviewed the film, they saw him in the hallway, peeking from a bedroom doorway. The face of a young boy, pale, lifeless, and with glowing eyes. No children were present. The house was empty. Some believe the boy was the spirit of one of the DeFeo children. Others say it was the entity in disguise. Even hardened skeptics were rattled. Over the years, many tried to debunk the Amityville Horror. The Lutz family was accused of fabrication. Hollywood dramatized their story. But Ed and Lorraine Warren never wavered. To their dying days, they stood by what they saw, what they felt. Lorraine once said, "Amityville was the closest to hell I've ever been." And coming from a woman who faced the Enfield poltergeist, Annabelle, and the Conjuring cases, that speaks volumes. The house still stands. The infamous eye-like windows have been changed. The address altered to dissuade tourists. New families have moved in. Some report peace, others whispers. But the Warrens warned, the evil there is dormant, not gone. It sleeps, and likes all thing that sleeps, it wakes to awaken. What really happened at the 112 Ocean Avenue? Was it a hoax, or a haunting that still ripples across time? Perhaps the truth lies buried in those blood-soaked floorboards, waiting for the right family to disturb it. If you hear voices, if shadows move in the corner of your eye, if the house whispers to you at 3:15 a.m., leave. This has been Dark Whispers, where darkness speaks and we listen.